Hello, everyone, and welcome to Acceleration Circles Masterclass. My name is Maria. I'm a brand strategist with over 13 years of experience working with brands, startups, and big and small companies, as well as entrepreneurs who want to boost and develop their personal brand. And today we will be talking about how to build strong brand from ideation to implementation stage. And I will be sharing step by step the main three stages that consist of ideation, development stage, and implementation stage. And let's get started. Let me know whether you see my slides. Let me know in the chat. Perfect. So let's start. And before we start, I want to make sure you are applying all these techniques to your brand. Or if you don't have a brand, or if you are not a brand owner, brand founder, business owner, business founder, or startup founder, just try to apply this on yourself as your personal brand, because each of us have has personal brand, and it doesn't matter what is your niche. Each niche can be considered under these three steps, and you can apply these techniques to each niche and each area. And I want to start this masterclass with a quote of Jeff Bezos that highly resonates with me. He says that your brand is what people say when you are not in the room. So basically, it's all about simplicity and how you can communicate your brand to your target audience, right? Each business is here to solve the problem. Only in this case, we can be in a high demand, and people will be willing to consume and use our product if we are solving their problems. And to understand that, we should ask ourselves the questions, right? Why are we doing it? What the problem are we solving? And how are we different from others? What we can provide, like what is our uniqueness, right? As a brand, as a company, as a people who are behind the brand, and how we serve. It's all about serving others and making the life of people easier with your products. And I want to just let you know that the startups with the strong brands, they grow much faster. 76% of consumers buy from brands that they feel this emotional connection, and it's very important to build this connection through different touch points, through different communication techniques, and through your messaging to your audience. And it's all about why brand matters and why we do need to take this into consideration. You might have a very good product, but if you don't know how to communicate it in the right way, it's impossible to find your clients. It's impossible to sell your product. It's impossible to deliver your message to the masses, to the big audience, without these three simple steps. Simple yet very important. And I want to talk about key components of brand strategy. And there is like 5 key components that I have listed. And let's start with the purpose. Purpose is basically your why, right? We have a purpose in life, so of course we can have a purpose of our brand. And purpose is what is the reason your brand exists beyond the profit. Like, think about it. Profit is amazing, but why you are on the market? What is the reason of you? What the value are you bringing to the people? Second is positioning. Positioning is how are you different? What is your differentiator? How do you stand out? And like within the competitors, among your competitors, think about this. And this might be your uniqueness, exactly this, like your different traits. And third is personality. Personality is all about human traits of your brand. So basically imagine that your brand is a human, and when it enters the room, Is it a woman or man? What is the tone of voice? Is it formal or informal? What the colors does your brand wear, etc. And next comes visual identity, and under visual identity, we consider logo, color palette, fonts, touch points, different touch points. How are you represented on different social media channels, etc. Your archetype, what is the archetype of your brand? It's very important and interesting topic. Please dig deeper into your naming. Again, psychology of colors is very important, etc. And next is messaging. Messaging is how do you communicate your brand across different platforms, right? So each brand has a voice, and each brand has a tone of voice. If voice is a one, like what you can have like a formal voice. Your brand can has a formal voice, but tone of voices can be different. For example, on Instagram, tone of voice can be focused on the target group and age group, let's say, that is basically on Instagram or and on TikTok, you can a little bit adapt your tone of voice to TikTok's age group, etc. So all of these little details, they make entire picture, create entire picture of your brand. And as I mentioned, today we will cover three main phases of brand development. And this is ideation stage, development stage, and implementation stage. During ideation stage, we usually identify market needs, we analyze competitors, we validate our ideas. Then when we move to development stage, we build positioning, we craft our identity, and like define attributes, right? This is my favorite stage, by the way. And then the last stage is implementation stage where we execute, monitor, and adjust strategy for growth. But we should remember that these ideas, these stages are not just the one time process. We can do a lot of iterations. So basically, every 3 months, every 6 months, you should run this iterative process to make your product better, to improve different strategies, etc. Because it's very important to understand what are the trends on the market, what has changed, etc. And let's start with ideation stage. And what is it about? This is all about validating your idea, identify your customer pain points when we understand what are the problems of our customers, right? And when we lay the groundwork for product market fit. And I want to talk here about the very common problem that a lot of startup founders, business founders, and entrepreneurs make. They fall in love with their ideas. So they are chasing their ideas and they don't accept any feedback. It's a very big mistake because instead of chasing the idea, it's better to focus on problem solving. So don't fall in love with your idea, understand the problem and need on the market and try to solve this problem. In this case, when you look at these things from this perspective, and when you can solve the problem of your customer, you can develop the best possible idea. Let's take a Slack as an example. And Slack addresses workplace communication issues, right? It's very simple. It solves the problem, it's closed the gap, it's all in one place, and that's why Slack is leading on the market. And when we talk about competitors, why you should understand and know your competitors. Local, global. If you are located in one country, please make a competitive analysis locally and make a competitive analysis globally, because this will give you an opportunity to look to have this helicopter view, right? So when you look on the big picture and see more. And it's very important to, besides competitive analysis, run a SWOT analysis. So basically, understand your strengths, weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats. And this will give you the understanding what are maybe your weak points that you should work on, and what are the weaknesses of your competitors. Run a SWOT analysis for your competitors as well. Please spend more time on ideation stage and take like very close look to your competitors, because only in this case you will understand what's going on the market, why your product is there, like how you can be different, better, more exclusive, unique. Because now, like, there's a red ocean everywhere. There's a huge competition. It's very difficult to impress someone, and only if you are solving the problem from very different perspective, and if you are exceeding the expectation of the customers, in this case, you can stand out and you can lead, you can be a trendsetter, you can set trends on the market, right? And yeah, I just want to tell you, you should find the gaps, and with finding the gaps, you will find the opportunities. And then when we have the idea, we should, of course, test our idea. So having an idea and just working with it without testing is useless. You should have focus group and try to show your idea, like explain that to them what is it about, and validate ideas with your target users. For example, in this case is monadic approach is very useful tool that can help you to understand whether your product is good on or bad. For example, let's go through monadic approach testing and how it works. First of all, it's a research method where a single concept is tested. For example, if you want to test the logo or the label of the product, you can use this approach with a focus group, a couple of people, right? It's there is no comparison. You are just showcasing to them like one product, one variation, and then you ask questions. You ask questions, you do qualitative or quantitative research, etc. And let's go through this slide, and I will explain you why to use it, right? So it ensures unbiased insights on individual concepts, as I mentioned. It refines brands elements like logos, taglines, product, and features. It aligns branding with audience expectations. And how it works. So basically, you present one concept to a target group, you ask specific questions about perceptions and their preference, and then you use this feedback to iterate and improve your idea, your product at ideation stage. Let's go through example. Let's take a look at the example, okay? For example, I'm testing the logo for an eco-friendly food delivery service, and my concept of the logo is a leaf integrated within a delivery box. So my question could be, what does this logo represent to you? What are the associations? Maybe you can recall any other company with a similar or with the logo with the leaf, right? Is it memorable or not? What do you think about the colors, etc.? And as a result, we have the feedback of a couple of people, and then we can refine the product, because we create the product for people, right? Uh, and we should make sure that people who will be using your product, they are emotionally attached to your product. Second very good technique is persona development. And persona development is a semi-fictional character that represents your audience. And the persona clarifies who is your target audience by asking a couple of questions. Who is my ideal customer? What is the current behavior of my users? What are their needs and goals? What issues they currently face within the given context? And how to build the persona. Let's go through it. Actually, these are my slides from my project that I started 5 or 6 years ago. It calls UX Vision. You can go there. It's on Instagram, and you will find a lot of useful information, educational content about user experience, about user research, and different techniques, etc. So I just decided to take this because this was very well explained again by me. So first is header, right? So basically under the header we have the name of our persona and the summary quote of our semi-fictional person. Then we go through his or her demographic profile. So basically we describe the personal background, what is age, gender, ethnicity, education, family status, etc. Then we go and describe the professional background, right? So, what is the job occupation, income level, work experience? Then we have user environment that is very important. For example, what the devices do they use, right? Are they Android or iPhone users, if it makes sense for you in this context? Where do they spend more time? How often do they collaborate with others? And they psychographics, that is also very important thing. What are their values, interests, habits, pain points, hobbies, etc. And the end goal is what do users want or need to accomplish by using your product. So focus on that. Like ask the question, why do users need your product to solve their problem? What is their problem? And basically, you will get the scenario where persona interacts with your product, and while interacting with your product, they are achieving the result, the goals. And that was another very good techniques. Of course, there is plenty of techniques. Again, you can go to UX Vision and look up. This slide is very important slide, and I talk a lot about 10x advantage, how to deliver more than expected. And to ensure your product or service is significantly better than existing alternatives on the market, you should meet at least one of these criteria. The performance should be good, the cost should be reasonable, and user experience should be seamless. And let's talk about the examples. I love examples. And when we talk about performance, let's take an example like a FedEx as an example. Speed is their performance. So basically, they have faster delivery times. That's how they stand out. If we talk about convenience, Uber application is the best example for a seamless user experience. It's very easy to interact with their application, order a taxi, and just have the best possible user experience. And if we talk about, let's say, sustainability of the product, right? Now, a lot of brands, they pay a lot of attention on sustainability or on eco-friendliness, etc. So, for example, Beyond Meat is the plant-based company offered the alternative environmentally friendly solution to the market, alternative to meat, right? And this is also their differentiator, and this is their advantage. Um, and again, you should solve real problems. Don't just solve fictional problems. Understand what are the real problems of people and try to solve them. Align your innovation with specific needs or frustration. It's very important to mix, to combine real problem solving with innovation, because nowadays without innovation, without technology and trends that are evolving rapidly, you can't stand out. You will be just outdated and no one will be willing to use your product or buy it. And use feedback loops from your direct customers, like iterate, always get the feedback, always ask for the feedback, offer some I don't know, discounts to people who will give you the honest feedback. It's very important to be open to the critics as well, because the customers who are open and willing to share their user experience with you are just priceless. And of course, if we should create emotional impact. This is number one of marketing and brand development, because without an emotional bond between your product and the customer, you cannot make this customer your loyal customer, right? Maybe they can come once, but they won't come and again if you don't if you can't build this emotional bond. Let's take the Tesla example, okay? um, Tesla's key point is their innovation, but beside that, it's there is eco consciousness and there is a luxury twist, right? So basically, they know how to make their customer feel good, feel special. So think about this, how your solution makes customer feel. And here I want to give you one pro tip. Please follow this tip. And it's all about focusing on one critical aspect of your product or service where you can deliver the most impact and build your brand around that innovation. So, impact, problem solving uh, part, and innovation. Okay, now let's move to second phase, that is development phase, where we define what our brand stands for, what is the difference between your brand and your competitor's brand, what is your differentiator, and let's talk about building a visual and emotional brand identity. And I want to bring as an example Airbnb case and how they are positioning themselves on the market. First of all, Airbnb has a great positioning. It's very simple, and their tagline is belong anywhere. And I just gathered all the attributes of Airbnb here, and I want to go through it with you together and explain why they are leading, why are they leaders on the market. And we will talk about identity attributes. What are the assets, skills, and mission? Everyone talks about mission and vision of the brand, but no one mentions assets and skills of the brand. And today we will be covering these um, aspects as well. And I want to talk about the map using pie technique. It's all about positioning, image, and experience. Again, very good strategy. And how to craft the very clear, single, short positioning statement. So let's look at this slide, and I just made this breakdown of brand positioning. And let's start with identity attributes. What attributes does Airbnb use to define the brand? First is asset, and let's talk about what is the asset of Airbnb as a brand. A vast network of unique and diverse accommodations worldwide, cutting-edge technology platform for seamless booking and hosting. Again, seamless user experience, great network of accommodations worldwide. So they are solving the problem, offering the great network of accommodations worldwide, and they have a very good technology with the seamless user experience. That's why they are offering innovation and problem solving here, right? So here we can see very clearly what are their assets. Then let's talk about the skills. Expertise in community building and creating a sense of belonging. That's also true. Innovating in peer-to-peer travel and home sharing. So That's very simple, and that's how they are different, for example, from booking.com, right? And what is the mission of the brand? To create a world where anyone can belong anywhere. So basically, what they did, they made it very easy for hosts to list their properties, to rent them out. They are solving the problems for both, for hosts and for people who want to rent. And this is their mission. And let's talk about map using Pi technique. P stands for positioning. Positioning of Airbnb is an alternative to traditional hotels, offering unique, affordable, and personalized accommodations. And it's very clear, very simple. Let's move to image. Warm, inclusive, and community focused, emphasizing authentic local experiences over impersonal stays. And I totally agree. Personally, I too experience the vibe of the city, the this twist of the country, the city I'm visiting. I would rather go and look for a very unique Airbnb where I can just immerse myself in the culture rather than the hotel. And I really do like this explanation. And let's talk about experience. Easy to use platform connecting travelers with hosts, fostering cultural exchange and shared humanity. That's exactly what I mentioned, right? And they are offering easy to use platform. So please make sure your technology, the technology behind your product, simplifies the journey, because usually when you open the application you just don't know where to press, especially when the startups are just starting to develop, and if they don't run this quality for quantitative research, if they don't do monadic testing, if they don't ask users to try their product, right? In this case, we have the problem when people just don't know how to use your product in the right way and they don't complete the steps. And the positioning statement that I mentioned, that should be very clear, very short, and deliver your message in the right way, is like this. Airbnb provides travelers with unique, affordable accommodations and authentic local experiences by connecting them with hosts worldwide, creating a sense of belonging and fostering a global community. Basically, they took all these identity attributes and made this PI technique, they put it in one sentence and they are delivering their messages in a very short, clear, concise way that everyone can understand. Okay, so we went through brand positioning, and I really hope that the breakdown of this brand positioning helped you to apply the same to your product and see what are your identity attributes and what is your positioning, image, and experience, right? And let's switch to visual brand identity and how to craft the appealing visual brand identity. This is 100% my expertise, and that's what I've been doing for the last 13 or 15 years. And the key elements of visual brand identity is your name, your logo, your colors, your typography, your imagery style where we develop, let's say, references or mood boards, and of course tagline integration. And I want to pay attention on naming first, because everything starts from the name, right? The first thing we um, start brainstorming about is our name of the brand. And please choose the right brand name. Make sure it's memorable, it's meaningful, and it reflects your brand values and personality. Please make sure it's not taken. Look at the patents or copyrights, etc. And to create very good visual identity that will be memorable, we should ensure consistency across the platforms we use, right? And all this should be gathered in one brand guideline, and you should distribute it to your designers, marketers, partners, etc. Brand guidelines usually include logo usage, the typography, usage and rules, tone of voice, your color palette, and of course, imagery guidelines. And I want to share with you one example of a very good, simple brand guideline document. And let's go back to Slack. Slack has created a very simple yet very well explained brand guideline for partners, for the designers or marketeers who will be working with the brand. And here they start with logo basics. When you can see the logo itself, the icon of the logo usage with the name, uh, and it can be like a horizontal and vertical, and what is optical baseline alignment, etc. So they show you how you can use their logos, what is the minimum size of the logo in pixels, what is the maximum, how you can use their icon, what is the usage on backgrounds, right? How to use their logo in one color, as you can see, white on colorful background or black on yellow background. Then they show logo clear space, and they explain that this is adequate space between the logo and surrounding elements. What is the alignment with when you use logo with the partners logos, right? How you should use this clear space, or what should be the distance between the logos, etc. What is a logo misuse? How not to use their logo, for example, that you should not crop the logo, you should not use only outline, different colors besides primary and secondary colors. And here again, you may not, and they are listing what is forbidden in this case, that you should not put an effects on the logo, etc. Here again, they talk about visual design of your website or application, naming. Then comes colors, and this is their palette. As you know, brands have main colors. It's usually one to three, one maximum to four, and then they have accent colors or secondary colors, right? So basically, this is all the entire color palette of Slack. Again, SMIC is for only for printing, RGB is only for screen and digital, and hex again is only for display digital. When you communicate with your partners, mention this, that they should necessarily use these color codes. And what else? There is typography. Typography is very important. So basically, again, we have a main fonts and secondary fonts that we use for headlines. And here's a very good explanation, right, of the main font and what is the family font. Family font, for example, if we use main font, well, in this case, let's say it bold, this is the main font of the um, Slack brand. This font has also family fonts, and it consists of thin, light, regular, medium, etc., extra bold. In this case, main is bold, but they can also use this family fonts to create subtitles, body tags, etc. And what else? So here you can see H1 is heading number one. That is the biggest one. H2 is heading number two, heading number three, and so on. P is usually body text. For example, they also have quote mark. So basically, you can use this as a branded quote mark. All you need is to explain the usage of your logo, the color palette, and the typography. Um, and this is a very good example of brand guidelines. I can share it with you. You can have a look and just create the guideline based on this template. Okay, that was it with the development phase. Now we are moving to our last stage, that is implementation stage. And usually during the implementation stage, we break strategy into actionable tasks, right? So basically, we develop step by step plan for branding elements, how to use them, how to use the logo, website, social media, packaging, etc. How to um, articulate with all this. And then we create the timeline for each execution of each part, let's say. It's very important if you have a team to make sure that communication within the team is clear, deadlines are clear, responsible people are assigned to the roles, etc. And to prepare the resources for implementation stage is one of the most important things, I would say. And digital assets. We will start with digital assets. Again, to create the branding is not enough, right? We should understand how to use this branding. What are the management tools you can utilize to upload all these branding materials in a very correct way to your drive. It can be Dropbox, it can be Google Drive, it can be any cloud where you can upload your digital materials, your logos in different formats. You should understand that for printing, you need a vector format. For digital, you might need PNG with a transparent background, or you might need the GPG for easy usage, etc. So make sure all your digital assets are well prepared, communicated with your designer. If you don't have a designer, please let me know. I will share with you the list of needed digital assets, how to prepare the assets in a way that your partners can use it. You can create the dedicated page on your website for digital assets, for brand materials, for external usage, okay? And then comes financial planning. When we talk about design updates, digital ads, influencer campaigns, physical material production, software, we should consider the budget for this. We should allocate the budget. We should understand that Adobe costs money. Canva, if you use Canva, it costs money. Maybe ChatGPT, your designer's time and effort to make updates, digital ads, advertising costs money, influencer campaigns costs money. So there should be a separate document when you have your entire list and budget calculated. And then you should definitely train your team to work with the digital assets and communicate with influencers or run digital ads, etc. Some of you might already have heard from me about touch points. I always talk about touch points when it comes to brand development, and basically, touch points is the interactions of your customer with your brands. Touch points can be digital or they can be physical. Under digital touch points, we consider the website, social media, emails, advertising, etc. Physical touch point is packaging, banners, your signs, business cards, cups with your branded logo. With digital touch points, we need to build anticipation with teasers. And we should understand that when we run the campaign, it should be distributed to all the platforms with the right messaging. It can be again adapted to each platform. One more thing I wanted to tell you about brand touch points and customer experience. There is three types of touch points you should remember. That first is pre-purchase touch points. So basically, this is a touch point that your potential clients and customers see. It can be social media, maybe they don't know about you, and through social media touch point they can get to know you, right? Or it can be PR campaign, marketing campaign, word of mouth is very good and reliable touch point, right? And then there is a purchase touch point. So basically, after they see the advertising, they might purchase your product, and then you show them what what are you about, right? What is your packaging? What's your website? Who is your salesperson? What's your catalog? You showcase your products. And this is a process of, again, digital and physical touch points. And post purchase touch point is very important because from there you create this emotional bond with your customers, right? It can be customer service when you again ask for the feedback, newsletter when you share updates, surveys, social media with your existing customers, loyalty programs. Please take into consideration that brand can use on average 20 touch points. We have more than 200 touch points, so make sure you have your unique touch points. For example, a creative campaign can be amazing touch point to attract a new client, right? You can engage influencers, ambassadors. Ambassador program is very important nowadays, and it works very well because people buy from people. People trust people. It's not B2C anymore. It's age to age, human to human. And the more realistic are your ambassadors, the better it is for your product. And of course, when you run this, when you see the results, you should monitor and evaluate, okay? You should track KPIs. You should understand what is the social media reach, what is your website traffic, like engagement, loyalty, customer retentions. And if you are not into that, maybe your social media manager can help you with that. Or maybe you will just spend extra 1 or 2 hours to understand how it works before you hire social media manager. And of course, we should collect the feedback through surveys, and please use different tools, like for example Typeform is an amazing tool for surveys, or you can just create a Google form, Google questionnaire, okay, to make it anonymous so people can just respond to your questions in a very honest way. And iterate. Please use insights to refine messaging, refine your visuals, and use this feedback from your existing customers to improve your product. And here is one more pro tip from me. A successful brand launch is marathon, not a sprint. Continuously adapt, optimize, and reinforce your strategy post-launch. That's it for today. We went through three phases of brand development from ideation to implementation stage. And I believe that these techniques, these tips will help you to create meaningful brand of yours. Thank you.